Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another week of what we might rightly call pandemic pilgrimage. I know that this is both a very tough time for a lot of people and a very busy time for a lot of other people. So our experiences are different, but they're also very different from what we were experiencing previously. Yesterday, our theme in worship for the weekend was the Negro spiritual, Lord, how come me here? A spiritual asking, Lord, why did you put me in this place? Why did you do this to me? Why am I in this situation? And good questions. And those were the kind of questions that pilgrims of old were asking themselves as they went on their journey. So I'm inviting all of us to see this as a season of spiritual questioning and renewal. Yesterday, as we had our Zoom coffee hour, as I do each week, I invite people either to share what it is they want to share that's on their heart or respond to a question that I throw out to the group. And yesterday, everybody responded to my question. And it was really interesting to me. As many of you know, yesterday was my birthday, and thank you to those of you who sent cards and other greetings. And every year on August 9th, I'm reminded that as well as being my birthday, it's the anniversary of dropping the nuclear bomb on Nagasaki. I can remember being very struck by that when I was a small child. And maybe that's one reason why I have committed my whole life from being a child to opposing war and being a pacifist. The question of nuclear war is always one that has been on my mind and heart, and certainly determined a lot of my life story, what I studied in college, and what I've committed myself to since. So the question I asked everybody yesterday was, how has a historic event or events going on in the world around you impacted your life and changed your life? And everybody had an answer, and it was really wonderful. And I was very struck by the fact that on these Zoom coffee hour sharing times, we're sharing much more deeply, much more intimately than we do in a normal coffee hour, certainly, but even in many other contexts at church. So I really do want to be encouraging you to join one of the Zoom coffee hours on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock or 11:30. Or be in touch with me and let's create another time that works well for you, and we can get a group of people together at that time. Any day, any time, let's figure it all out. Because I think it's really important that we find opportunities to tell each other our stories. We all have a whole bundle of stories tied up inside us that define who we are. And as we tell each other our stories, our love for each other deepens and our appreciation for what we have all experienced grows. Some of us have had very rich and complicated lives that have taken us all over the world and done different things. Others have had a more focused, local experience. I always say that I'm very jealous of people who've lived in the same place all their lives, because I've moved so much in my life in the pastoral ministry. But we all learn from each other, and we all learn and grow. So do please let me know, or let somebody else know, or join the Zoom coffee hour on Sunday morning, or join a prayer meeting, and you'll find all that information on the email that conveyed this video to you. And do please encourage those who don't have computer access but can get on a telephone, because you can join a Zoom call on the phone. And that's better than nothing. It's great seeing people's faces, but if hearing their voice is the only option we have, let's take it. So I'm grateful for the St. Mark's community, for the love and for the generous spirit that is shared. And I'm wanting to make sure that nobody during this pandemic pilgrimage is left by the roadside. We want to make sure that everybody is included and we hear everybody's story as we travel the journey together. I invite you to join me in a prayer. I'm going to be reading it. It's from the World Council of Churches and actually written by a Moravian pastor in Antigua. And I'll be adapting it a little. Let's pray together. Gracious God, we celebrate you, our Heavenly Parent. We thank you for being our provider and protector. When sickness and disease threaten, you are our healer. In times of distress and trouble, you are our deliverer. Loving God, we think of nurses and doctors and all on the front lines, and we lift them up to you in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're all hurting and we don't know what to do. We pray that you will heal our hurting hearts, Lord. Your creation renew. We're depending on you, O God. We know you are faithful and true. O God of the wind, the rain, and the flames, God of the earthquake, we ask you to come and draw near those who are victims of terrible disasters. We think especially of our sisters and brothers in Beirut, Lebanon, and our sisters and brothers in Baltimore, where an explosion happened this morning, causing loss of life. From the ravages of disasters and storms, please, God, shelter us. Teach our hearts to trust you, loving God, for we know you love us and you care. God of power and might, the whole world is at your command. God of love and mercy, our lives are in your hands. God of justice and truth, bless your people, heal our lives and lands. God of nations, languages, tribes, peoples, and tongues, fulfill in us your divine purpose and perfect plans. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I wish you a very holy day today and every day, and may God walk with you on your journey, wherever it may lead. Amen.